Caloric restriction (CR), defined as a sustained reduction in calorie intake without malnutrition, has long been recognized as one of the most robust, non-genetic interventions for extending lifespan and delaying the onset of age-related diseases in a wide range of organisms, from yeast to primates. Its effects on cellular metabolism, inflammation, and DNA repair are profound, and over the past 2 decades, scientists have sought to understand whether CR's benefits can be safely harnessed in humans. While lifelong caloric restriction may not be practical or desirable for most people, the biological signatures of CR observed in long-lived individuals suggest that similar protective mechanisms are achievable through alternative strategies, including emerging compounds known as caloric restriction mimetics. At the molecular level, caloric restriction orchestrates a complex shift in metabolic and stress response pathways that collectively reduce the pace of biological aging. One of the hallmark responses to CR is a reduction in insulin and insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1 signaling, which promotes cellular maintenance and stress resistance rather than growth and proliferation. This downregulation activates transcription factors such as FOXO, which enhance the expression of genes involved in DNA repair, antioxidant defense, and autophagy. CR also suppresses chronic inflammation and enhances mitochondrial efficiency, contributing to improved metabolic flexibility and reduced oxidative damage. Interestingly, many of these molecular signatures are also found in centenarians. Even though they may not have practiced caloric restriction per se, long-lived individuals tend to have lower fasting insulin and IGF-1 levels, reduced inflammatory markers, and more active autophagy-related pathways, all of which mirror the internal landscape induced by caloric restriction. This suggests that the biological benefits of CR may not require deliberate food restriction, but rather can emerge naturally in people with favorable genetics, nutrient-sensing efficiency, and metabolically supportive lifestyles. Because sustained caloric restriction is difficult to maintain and may pose risks in older adults, such as loss of muscle mass or nutritional deficiencies, researchers have turned their attention to CR mimetics, compounds that aim to replicate the molecular and physiological effects of caloric restriction without requiring significant reductions in caloric intake. Among the most promising are metformin, rapamycin, and resveratrol, each of which targets key nodes in longevity-related pathways. Metformin, a widely used drug for type 2 diabetes, has garnered attention for its ability to lower insulin levels, reduce hepatic glucose production, and improve insulin sensitivity, all hallmarks of the metabolic profile induced by CR. In preclinical models, metformin extends lifespan and health span, while observational studies in humans have linked its use to lower rates of cancer, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline. Its low-cost, established safety profile, and wide-ranging metabolic benefits make metformin a leading candidate for broader anti-aging applications, though long-term trials in healthy individuals are ongoing. Rapamycin, an inhibitor of the mechanistic target of rapamycin mTOR, directly suppresses a nutrient-sensing pathway that governs growth, protein synthesis, and autophagy. mTOR activity is downregulated under CR, and rapamycin mimics this effect pharmacologically. In animal studies, rapamycin has consistently extended lifespan and delayed age-related dysfunction, even when administered later in life. Importantly, rapamycin promotes autophagy, a cellular recycling process critical for removing damaged proteins and organelles, which is impaired during aging. While rapamycin can have immunosuppressive effects, low-dose or intermittent regimens are being studied to optimize its safety in the context of aging prevention. Resveratrol, a polyphenol found in grapes and red wine, activates sirtuin proteins, particularly SIRT1, which play roles in mitochondrial function, DNA stability, and metabolic regulation. Sirtuins are also activated by caloric restriction, and their upregulation has been linked to extended lifespan in some model organisms. Resveratrol has shown modest benefits in improving insulin sensitivity and reducing inflammation in humans, although its effects are generally milder and more context-dependent than those of metformin or rapamycin. Nevertheless, it remains of interest as a natural, low-risk CR mimetic and potential adjuvant to other interventions. In addition to pharmacologic mimetics, intermittent fasting and time-restricted eating have emerged as behavioral strategies that may activate many of the same pathways as caloric restriction. These regimens restrict the timing of food intake rather than the amount consumed and have been shown to improve metabolic health, reduce inflammation, and enhance cellular stress resistance. Such approaches may offer a practical middle ground for people seeking the benefits of caloric restriction without long-term dietary deprivation. Importantly, the success of CR and its mimetics depends on the broader physiological context in which they are applied. The metabolic and immunological resilience observed in centenarians suggests that the beneficial effects of nutrient-sensing modulation require a foundation of overall cellular integrity, intact repair systems, and adaptive immune function. In this sense, CR and its mimetics may be most effective as preventive or early life interventions, while their use in advanced age must be carefully balanced to avoid unintended consequences, such as frailty or undernutrition. The promise of caloric restriction lies not in starvation but in metabolic optimization, a redirection of energy from growth toward maintenance, repair, and survival. Whether achieved through reduced food intake, pharmacologic agents, or metabolic timing strategies, this recalibration of nutrient signaling appears to be a unifying feature of longevity. As science progresses, combining insights from centenarians with mechanistic studies of CR may unlock new pathways for extending not only how long we live, but how well